Today, we become legends.
Hey, my name's Inter, welcome back to the channel, and I've just got a quick data mining update for you here. 10.8 data mining has come out, and there's some very interesting stuff on how the rest of this year is going to play out for Smite, and a tiny bit of information on year 11 as well, that's coming as well. So, yeah, quick disclaimer as always, data mining is a way of obtaining the early data. It's not always 100% accurate. A lot of it is, like 90% of it is, but take it with a grain of salt, essentially. So first up, some new skins and stuff coming. For those that don't watch my data mining videos all too often, the purple stuff is the new stuff. So any of the white stuff we've seen before and I've probably covered in previous data mining posts. So I'm only going to be covering the purple stuff, which is the new stuff specifically from 10.8's data mining. So there's going to be a Hades skin coming in an unknown patch. We don't know exactly when that's going to be coming, but there will be a Hades skin coming in the near future, I would assume. Patch 10.10 is going to have a voodoo event, so that's not next patch, but the patch afterwards. There's going to be a voodoo event for that, which almost certainly will coincide with the launch of Maman Brigitte. I'm pretty sure 10.10 is now all but confirmed on that's when she's coming, so it appears like 10.9 is going to be the launch of a new season, which that patch is going to be coming very soon, because 10.8 is only a 3-week patch cycle, and we're getting 10.9, which is going to be the new season, basically in 3 weeks from the launch of 10.8, and 10.8 is coming out tomorrow as of the release of this video. Also in 10.10, there's going to be a new Achilles skin, a new Ganesha skin, and a new Matikara skin as well. Oh, and also a new Nox skin. All that's going to be coming in 10.10. For patch 10.11, there's going to be a new Sol skin and a new Ymir skin. 10.12 is going to be a new Anher, Amaterasu, Aphrodite, Bellona, Ishel, Poseidon, Sol, Wukong, Vulcan, and Zeus skins. And as we know from a little further up here, the Odyssey is going to start next patch in patch 10.9. And so most likely a lot of these skins that we're seeing in patch 10.10, 10.11, and 10.12 are going to be Odyssey skins, I would assume. And yeah, there's also a mention of patch 10.13 where there's going to be a Yhorm skin and an Odin skin. So yeah, that's interesting. It seems like we're going to be getting a patch 10.13 this season, which for the last few seasons, there's only been 12 patches a season, basically one per month. But we do know that 10.8, as I mentioned, is going to be a slightly shorter patch cycle, and 10.9 is going to come out 3 weeks after instead of the usual 4 weeks after. And it seems like they're trying to squeeze in a final patch 10.13 in the end of year, like basically a December patch before January will launch the new year, year 11, which there's a little bit more information on further down here. Which is pretty interesting, because if we do get the launch of a new season in 10.9, which seems very likely, then it seems like it's going to be a very long season. You know, it's going to be 10.9 through 10.13, and that's like 5 total patches for that season, which is by far the longest season we've had so far. So should be pretty interesting. Maybe a lot will happen in that season, or maybe it's going to be 10.10 that's launched of the new season. But they do seem to like to do a new season patch, and then the patch after that is when they release a god, and we pretty much know Maman Brigitte is coming in 10.10, so it would make sense that 10.9 is the season launch, then 10.10 brings us Maman Brigitte, as we've kind of seen up here with the voodoo event going on in patch 10.10. That would make sense that they would coincide that with the launch of, you know, the voodoo god. So yeah, pretty interesting there. So year 11, there's been some first mentions of procedural environment props labeled as Conquest Theme Year 11. There's also a mention to permanent props. This could mean that they're configuring the map a bit to be more easy to replace props depending on the season and themes. That makes sense, you know, if they're going to be sticking with the year and like several seasons throughout the year and making big visual changes and gameplay changes to the Conquest map every single season, then it makes sense that they're kind of setting things up to more easily replace stuff and change art and environment based on the seasons and stuff like that. Mentions of foliage like cypress, flowers, harpy eggs, mushrooms, palms, etc., and props like barrels, gold coins, skulls, stalagmites, and wood. So yeah, nothing too concrete here, but basically we know now that like they're not going to be just doing year 10 as like a one-off thing for like the decade anniversary. They're going to be going forward continuing this model of year 11. It's probably going to have 4 seasons, all that kind of stuff. And we'll probably start getting more, you know, more mentions and more information on year 11 as the patches go forward, because we are getting towards the end of the year now in terms of Smite. So like there's only going to be what, like 5 patches left now at this point, 10.9 through 10.13. If they do a 10.13, it's not completely confirmed yet, but it seems likely. And so yeah, for the data mining from all those patches, we'll likely get a little bit more information on year 11. And finally, probably the most exciting part of this whole data mining post, Deity 129, currently unknown, but there are some theories on it already floating around. So it's going to use Kepri's model for development. It uses some Olaron stuff like materials and uses RTO stuff like the bear and the staff. And it's going to be magical melee, guardian with high defense. So it seems like we're getting a second guardian this year. And realistically, well, I say this year, it might not be this year. It could be for the launch of year 11 that this god is being developed. But based on the fact that they might have a patch 10.13 and Marmon Brigitte is coming out in 10.10, it feels like 3 more patches after that before the end of the year with no God release wouldn't make a whole lot of sense. So maybe they're planning on releasing this Deity 129, which we'll get into some of the theories in a second, in patch 10.12 or 10.13 to kind of end off the year. They did say, like the devs said right at the start, that like they didn't want to reveal like too many gods and commit to releasing like all those gods during the season. So they only revealed the first 5, and the 5th one there was Marmon Brigitte. So those are the only ones that we know are coming for sure, but it seems like there is going to be another god coming this season. Sorry, this year. I get that terminology confused. There's going to be new god coming this year, and probably the next season of this year. Maybe like right towards the end of it, so they're going to have Marmon Brigitte in 10.10, which probably the patch after the season launches, and then maybe they're going to have this other god in 10.12 or 10.13. You know, usually gods are about 2 patches apart. We usually get a god and then an intermediate patch with some other changes or whatever, and then a new god in the patch after that. So it would make sense for 10.12 or 10.13 to bring this Deity 129. So yeah, it's using Khepri as a model for development, and also some stuff like Artio's bear. So my best guess is something quadrupedal, you know, some kind of monster or beast or something like that. You know, not a standard humanoid god. What would seem like this is what the direction they're going with it. A lot of the common theories floating around right now is it's going to be Nanook, the Inuit god, like often depicted as a bear and stuff like that. And so that would be really cool. That would be a new Pantheon launch, which, I don't know, maybe lends a bit more credence to the fact that this god is going to be the first one of next year instead of right at the end of this year. You know, launching a new Pantheon right at the end of the year seems a little strange. Although they have done it before. I'm pretty sure King Arthur was right at the end of Season 5 to launch the Arthurian Pantheon, and then Merlin came at the start of Season 6. So it's not completely out of the question that they will launch a new Pantheon right at the end of the year. But that seems very likely, you know, with the bear and it being quadrupedal, using Khepri as a model for development. I think Nanook would make a lot of sense. There's also a few people holding on to the idea that it might still be Nut. It'd be very cool if we get Nut, but I think this definitely does point more towards it being some kind of Inuit god. Yes, they're using Olorun materials, which is very, like, heavenly and sort of star-themed almost, which would make a bit of sense for Nut because she's god of the sky and often depicted with, like, alongside constellations and things like that, so... But, you know, also, Nanook, Northern Lights, that kind of stuff, constellations, also kind of fits that theme pretty well. So, definitely likely to be Nanook, I think, or something similar. But yeah, pretty hype. Deity 129 seems like they're going to be coming this year, I would imagine, towards the end of this year in 10.12 or 10.13. What are your theories? Let me know down below. Do you think it's going to be Nanook? Do you think it's going to be Nut? Do you think it's going to be something else entirely that we're not, like, completely expecting? You know, it will be a god at the end of the year that they haven't revealed in, like, the start of year reveal trailer, so it honestly could be anything at this point. It could be a highly requested one, it could be something Hi-Rez just wants to do, it could be some random, like, stuff that no one's even heard of from mythology. So yeah, it should be very interesting. Let me know your theories down below. But that's all we have for the data mining update for 10.8. So, like, new deity information, little bit of a mention of year 11, patch 10.13 mentioned, so we're potentially getting one extra patch at the end of this year as opposed to just patch 10.12, new skins, all that kind of stuff. Let me know your thoughts on this down below. Should be interesting, and I will catch you guys in another one later on. Have a great day, and peace out, you nerds.